Yes, friends, welcome to Galaxy Online Learning. I'm Sunil Desai, and you're all welcome to our YouTube channel Galaxy Online Learning, a division of Galaxy Tutorials. Okay, so please subscribe to our channel Galaxy Online Learning, and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get all the notifications when the new video is uploaded immediately. Okay, so today we are going to study English of 10th standard state board. Okay, and the chapter we are going to study is a very important chapter, quite inspirational chapter for you all, for us all, as well as very important chapter in terms of your exams. Okay, so this the name of this chapter is Connecting the Dots, chapter number 2.3. Okay, chapter number 2.3 of your Kumar Bharti textbook, Connecting the Dots. Now, this lesson is written by Steve Jobs. You may have heard or may have not heard of this name, but surely you must have heard about Apple Incorporation, Apple Mobile, Apple Laptop. Okay, so he is the co-founder of this company, Apple, the very famous company. Okay, so we are going to study uh, today this chapter, Connecting the Dots. Okay, now Steve Jobs was born in 1955 and he died in 2011. He had a very short life of 56 years. Okay, he was an American entrepreneur, business magnate, inventor, and industrial designer. Okay, Steve Jobs. He was the chairman, CEO, and co-founder of Apple Incorporation, the famous Apple company. He was the co-founder. He is widely recognized as one of the pioneers of the microcomputer revolution. Pioneers means who started, who initiated the microcomputer revolution of the 1970s and the 1980s. Okay, so what do you mean by connecting the dots? See, when you were small, maybe in your first, second standard, okay, in your drawing book there used to be dots. Okay, there used to be a number of dots and they were numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and you used to, the teacher used to ask you or your parents used to ask you to connect accordingly. From the one number with the pencil you used to connect from number 1 to number 2, number 3, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and when you connected those dots, what would happen? A beautiful picture used to be seen. Okay, till then there was no picture, only the dots you could see on the paper. But once you connect those dots, a beautiful image of some picture of some animal is to come. I hope you have recollected it. Okay, so similarly, what he means to say is that in life, so many ideas come in your mind as you grow up. Yeah, these are different ideas like dots on the paper, piece of paper, different ideas. But when you connect these different ideas, okay, when you connect these different ideas, a beautiful, you can connecting this dot will give you some good result. Means you can use these ideas of your previous time later on in your life, and that will help you to make something eventful, something great. Okay, so let's start with the chapter. Today I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. So Steve Jobs is telling you 3 important stories in your life. Listen carefully, and I think you are surely going to get inspired by this. That's it, just 3 stories. I'm going to tell you just 3 stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop in for another 18 months before I really quit. See, I dropped out. Dropped out means I left. You had taken admissions at Reed College, but he left Reed College in 6 months. The first 6 months only he left the college, but again he dropped in, means again he started visiting the college, okay, for nearly 18 months before he really quit, means he totally left the college, okay. So he didn't complete his graduation. Looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So Steve says that when he looks back now today after so many years, when he looks back, he feels that that was the right decision he had taken of leaving the college. I could stop taking the required classes that did not interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that look interested. He said that was the right decision because I didn't want it to waste time on subjects which I was not interested. And I used to only attend those lectures in which I was interested. So I didn't waste my time unnecessarily attending those lectures in which I was not at all interested. I did have a dorm room. Dorm means dormitory, where number of you have bed in a big hall there and a big and the number of beds and you sleep on those beds. Okay, so he was not affording a place in a dormitory. So I slept on the floor in friend's room. What he used to do at night? Where he used to sleep? He used to sleep in his friend's room on the floor because he didn't have a bed. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with, and I would walk 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. His financial condition was so weak. He's telling about the days when he was very young. Okay, when you had joined college, he was telling when he was very young. He didn't have enough money, so he used to sleep in his friend's room on the floor. Second thing is that when the Coke bottle, they were glass bottles, and you had to pay a deposit to buy a Coke bottle. Means for that glass you can give back the bottle once you drink the Coke from it, and you used to get it 5 cents back. So what he used to do, he used to collect those bottles and give them back. Okay. He has to throw that Coke bottle so that he could get that 5 cents from the shopkeeper, and with those 5 cents he could have some food to eat. That was his condition. He didn't have enough money to have food. In fact, he is telling us that once in a week, every Sunday night, he used to walk down. He had even a bicycle, so he had to walk down 7 miles across the town, the town where he was reading. There was an ISKCON temple, like the way you have here in Kharghar, ISKCON temple, Hare Krishna temple. Similarly, there was a Hare Krishna temple in his ISKCON temple in his town, and he used to walk down 7 miles and used to go to the temple. Why used to go? To have the prasad. If you go to this temple during afternoon or during lunchtime, you get prasad, you get food. Na? The same way because to get that prasad means to get food. Okay, he used to travel just because he was not able to earn money enough to get good square meal food, because the food over there, the prasad from the Hare Krishna temple is really, really good, of a good quality. So at least in a week, he could have some good food, and he was not able to spend on it. So he used to go to that temple just to eat that food, one meal in a week. Or the other days, okay, the other rest of the days of the week, he used to eat anything what was available, less like what you can say in Indian terms, he must be eating some vada pav or something like that, and he was filling his stomach. But to get one good meal, he had to walk 7 miles, okay, across the town to get that prasad. I loved it. He loved that food, and much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Okay, and he says that he was a very curious, anxious person. Okay, so always curious to know more and more, something new, always curious. Okay, and he had a lot of intuition. So he said, whatever I stumbled upon due because of my curiosity and intuition later proved to be of very much use to him in his later life. Okay? So here he gives you an example, just one example. Reed College offered perhaps the best calligraphy instructions in the country. His college, Reed College, was offering a course on calligraphy, artistic way of writing. Okay, and that was the best in the country at the time. Because I had to take a calligraphy class, I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about what makes great typography great, and there he learned. Okay, there he learned calligraphy, the serif and sans serif. Serif means at the end of the letter you just projections are made to make it more artistic. Okay, or without those artistic. So different types of typography, different types of fonts. Okay, that he could learn from that. Okay, that he learned where the typography means the printed material, printed fonts which you see on the on your computer screen. Okay. Okay, so that he learned where the calligraphy in that Reed College. 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, the Mac computer, you must have heard about Mac. Okay, the Macintosh computer, it all came back to me, and we designed it all into the Mac. If I had never dropped in on that course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces, or for that matter, even proportionally spaced font. So he says that later on, when he designed his first computer, Macintosh computer, which is called in short Mac today, okay, what he had learned in calligraphy at the Reed College. Okay, so that dot, this talking about that dot, okay, the thing which he had learned at Reed College some years back, that dot he has connected where? In the Macintosh computer. That means he had designed, by designing the Macintosh computer, he designed all this, he put in all these different types of fonts, the fonts which you see today on your laptop, on your computer, okay, that all were designed. Why? Because he had learned them at Reed College. Okay, so one dot connected to another, giving you today the whole world, those different fonts. Okay, we can use just at the click of a button, we are using it. Okay, so those different types of fonts, even otherwise he says it would have not been possible. Okay, that I would have just not, if I had not learned all this calligraphy at Reed College, I would have not added all these fonts in the computer. Okay, in the Macintosh, in the Mac. And so today it would have been really difficult for us to have these different types of fonts. And since Windows just copied Mac, it's likely no personal computer would have them. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very clear looking backward 10 years later. So he says, see, if he had not used those fonts or those calligraphy, what he had learned at Reed College in his Mac, it would have not been in anyone's personal computer. Why? Because Windows just copied Mac. Okay, Windows had just copied Mac. So today it would have not been possible in your personal computer to have those calligraphic letters. Okay, so what he says is that when I learned this calligraphy at Reed College, I would have not connect this dot, that I will use this calligraphy somewhere here 10 years later in my life while I design a computer. That had never come to my mind, for anyone's mind cannot come. But now, when he is looking back, when he has designed the computer and when he is looking back, now he realized that dot he has connected with over here. Okay, that means that is all about connecting the dots. You can't connect the dots looking forward. See, before, because you don't know the future. So how you can connect the dot which you are known today? How you can connect the future? Because you don't know about future, what's going to happen. But you can only connect them looking backward. So only when you go ahead and when you use that what you have learned in your previous years, okay, in your childhood or in your youth, then only you can understand, yeah, you have connected it, what you have learned previously, you have connected it now. So you have to trust that dots will somehow connect in your future. So he says you have to trust that whatever you learning now will really help you in your future. So that's what he wants to tell you. Learn. You say now, na, hey, why should I learn this? I don't want to. Hey, why should I learn biology? I don't want to become a doctor. So no, it's not the thing. Or why should I learn maths? I don't want to go for science stream. I want to go for arts. No, it's not like that. Okay, so learn now. You don't know when you're going to connect this dot with something else in your future because you don't know about the future, what's going to happen. Okay, so you have to trust in some. You have to have trust in some things. Your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. So you have to trust in. You have to trust in certain things like the courage. Guts means courage, the destiny, what's going to happen in your life ahead, your life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down. Okay? And it has made all the difference in my life. So he says that this approach of mine, that you have to trust in some certain things, trust in destiny, you have to trust in your courage, trust in your intuition, that has never let him down. This has always been helpful to him in his life. Now see second story. My second story is about love and loss. I found what I loved to do early in life was that Steve was 9 and I started Apple when I was 20. In 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in a garage into a $2 billion company. And then I got fired. It was devastating. Okay, so see, second thing I learned. The second story is about his love and his loss. He loved to design. He loved to, he was a technocrat. So he could realize what he loved, he understood it very early in life. So he and was means Steve Wozniak, his partner, who together Steve and Woz together they founded Apple Incorporation. Okay, and these two of them had started this company in a small garage. Now 10 years later, it became a $2 billion company in just 10 years. Okay? It became, and then after 10 years, he had to leave that. So he left Apple, and he was fired. Means he was asked to leave. Okay, leave Apple. So just imagine when you love something and you have put your everything in that particular thing. Okay, in that particular act of yours which you love a lot. You have founded and your child, Apple is his child, after all. Okay, so you have put in everything in that, and then when you are asked to leave, see how devastating, that means how shocking it must be for that person. Okay, so there is a second thing what he is telling you is about his love and loss. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did, and so I decided to start over. But something dawned on me, something came later on. He realized that this is what he wants to do. This is the best thing he could do, and that is what he wants to do. So he started once again. Okay, he had to leave Apple, but he started once again. Start over. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. So when you become successful, responsibilities come. And because of these responsibilities, you feel yourself, there's heaviness in you, means you feel that you are burdened by the responsibilities. After running a successful $2 billion company, when you are running a $2 billion company, you become a responsible person. So, that's what he says. You become a very responsible person. So that heaviness was there on his shoulders. Now that he had left Apple, he was feeling very light, because now he was again a beginner. Again he had to start from scratch. It filled me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. So now that he was light, there was no responsibility on him. Now his creative mind could just wander around. Okay, now he could think very, because there was no responsibility, there was no burden on his shoulders. So he was just free to think a lot, free to create something new. Okay, so that's why he said that was my period of my life, which was the best creative period of his life. He could make the best creations in that particular period when he had left Apple. During the next 5 years, I started a company Next. Okay, in the next 5 years, he started a company called Next. Another company named Pixar. Okay, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. He says after leaving Apple, he started becoming really creativeness increased in his mind, and he started a company called Next. After that, he started Pixar, and at the same time, he came across a girl, and he started loving that girl. Okay, and who later on became his wife. He met this amazing woman. Pixar is now the world's most successful animation studio. Okay, Apple bought Next. Okay, so Pixar became the most successful animation studio. His creativeness led to such animation, and the first Pixar was the most successful animation studio which Apple later on bought. Okay, it was so successful, this company Pixar, that Apple bought it. So he returned to Apple again. Since the company was bought by Apple, he again became a part of Apple. And the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. And that's what he said. And at Next, this is another company Next, okay, where he had developed so much of technology that technology they are using now in Apple. That is the result why Apple is now Renaissance means Renaissance is Renaissance. Sorry, if you pronounce it Renaissance. Renaissance means nurturing a new beginning. Apple का जो नया beginning हुआ है, the new life which Apple has taken again after he came back, that was because of the technology he had developed at Next, is another company. And Lauren and I have a wonderful family together. Lauren is his wife, okay, and now he's saying that those years after I left, so that all came back to him. Today he's saying, I'm living a wonderful life with my wife Lauren. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. He says sometimes in life hits you in the head with a brick. Sometimes what happens? Suddenly, certain incidents occur in your life that you are in a great shock. Okay, you don't know what to do. Suddenly some instances come and you have to leave that. Like see, he had started Apple and he had to leave it. That was shocking for him. So that's what he said. Sometimes life hits your head, you in the head with a brick. That means you are really in a big shock. But he says, don't lose faith. Okay? What he says? Don't lose faith. And the only way to do great work is to do what you love. Keep on doing. And if you haven't yet found what is that thing which you really love to do, then just keep on searching. One day you will find what you really want to do. Okay, one day you really find you want to do, and don't settle till that time. Keep on searching, keep on searching. Okay? And his third story now. So first story was connecting the dots, second story about love and loss, and his third story is now about death. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. Yes, he was been diagnosed. The doctor told him that he was suffering from cancer. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order which in doctor's code for prepare to die. Means the doctor told him that you are suffering from cancer, so whatever you think you want to do, you better sort them out. Okay? And all your affairs you organize them, means what has to be done later on. Okay? That means in short way, doctor had told him that now you prepare yourself for your death. You have to prepare to die now. I lived with that diagnosis all day. So always that was in the back of his mind that yes, my death is coming nearer. Okay? So all day when he was working, that used to come in his mind. Later that evening, I had a biopsy. So whole day it was in his mind that doctor diagnosed him in the morning that he was suffering from cancer. So now he has to sort of all his work going on. So it was in the back of his mind, okay? In the back of his mind it was there. But in the evening he did a biopsy, and the biopsy result, what it showed? It showed a very rare form of pancreatic cancer that is curable with surgery. Okay, the biopsy report showed that it is cancer, and it is a type of a pancreatic cancer of your pancreas, and that pancreatic cancer can be treated with surgery. Okay, I had the surgery and I am fine now. Okay, and he had that surgery, so and he's fine now. So that was in the back of the mind that he will die. But now later on, the biopsy told that it's pancreatic cancer, and if you do a surgery, that will be cured. So he performs the surgery, and now he says, I am still living. This was the closest I have been facing to death, and I hope it is the closest I get for a few more decades. Okay, this is what he says. I was so much close to death. That's what he's telling. I was so much close to death, and it is the closest I get. He got some few more years, another 10 years, or say few more decades. It didn't mean 10 years. Having lived through it, I can now say this to you. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. So he says, so when I came so close to death, I understood that your time is limited. You are not going to live longer. So you live your own life. You do whatever you love to. Don't live anyone's life. Means what? Don't live the way what others want to make you live. Okay, live your life the way you want to. That's what, because life is very short. Make the most of it. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown your own inner voice. He said dogma means a belief held by a different person, mostly the surrounding people around you. So don't what others people say just because of them. Okay, don't think according to the belief of other people. Don't listen to other people. Don't listen to the people surrounding you. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to what your heart is saying. Listen to your mind. Okay, and do in life whatever your mind tells you. Okay, not what others tell you, not what the society tells you. Okay, and most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Says most important thing in life is that you should follow the guts. You should have the guts, you should have the courage, you should have the guts to follow your own heart, follow your own intuitions, what your mind is telling. You should follow your intuitions. Don't go with others, don't be a follower. Okay? Don't go with others. They somehow already know what you really want to become, because your intuition, your gut feeling knows what you can achieve and what you can become. So always follow your guts, always follow your inner voice. When I was young, there was an amazing publication called The Whole Earth Catalog. In the final issue, on the back cover, they put a photograph of an early morning country road. Okay, he says, now he's telling about when he was young, there was a publication which used to read. The name was The Whole Earth Catalog. Okay, in the last issue, in the final issue, on the back cover they had put a photograph of a village morning countryside road. It's morning time and it was a countryside road. That was the image which they had printed on the last back cover page of that publication. Beneath that picture were words. What they were saying: stay hungry, stay foolish. It was their farewell message as they signed out. So the last publication, when they finished, means they were not going to continue with the publication. That was the last issue, and on the last issue, on the back cover, they printed a picture of a morning countryside road, and below that they had written, stay hungry, stay foolish. Okay, they said, and that way they had signed off that they are not going to now continue, but they had given a message to the readers to stay hungry, stay foolish. It was their farewell message. I have always wished that for myself. And what do you mean by this word? Stay hungry, stay foolish. Stay hungry, stay foolish means stay hungry means there should always be a hunger in you, that you want something, you want some new things. Okay, always look for something new coming up. Okay, so always look. You should not be satisfied. What Steve says is that the word means you should stay hungry means don't get satisfied, don't get complacent. Stay hungry, and that means always strive for something new. Always there should be a wanting sense in you, that I want this. Okay, so stay hungry and stay foolish. Stay foolish means always keep your mind empty. Start absorbing new ideas. Don't show that you are a wise person, or don't behave like a wise person. Okay? Behave like a foolish person who has no idea, nothing. His brain, his head is empty head. Okay? And he is taking up new things, absorbing new things. So, stay hungry, stay foolish means always have the desire to know more and new things, more and more new things, and always take in new ideas. Okay? And now, as you graduate to begin anew, I wish that for you. Stay hungry, stay foolish. So that's what he tells you. You students, particularly now you are in the 10th standard. Okay, a new whole life is there in front of you. Yeah, next year you are going to start with your professional education. Maybe professional education means what you have to choose your profession, and accordingly you are going to start studying on what career you are going to do in life. So you are going to start a new life from next year. So that this is the right message which Steve Jobs is giving you. What message he gives you? Stay hungry, stay foolish. Always keep your hunger for new things, and always keep your mind open to new ideas. Okay, understood? Thank you.